Welcome to Daily Inspirations. I am Michelle Dawn, and today I am decorating my July 2022 calendar pages of my VillabeauTIFFul planner. And I am going to be using a lot of Girl Boss Anna ink tapes. I have 35 millimeter from Feather Bliss collection. That's the only one I think that is available in the 35 millimeter. And I have them all out here just in case I need more colors. And I also have my clear tapes in case those, I think I'm going to use those for date covers. So the reason I chose Girl Boss Anna tapes is that it is World Watercolor Month. And these are watercolors. So these are the names of the collection that they can be found in. And we're gonna go with a kind of a nature scene. I'm going to try to make a little nature scene here on my calendar with my ink tapes that look like watercolor. Enjoy. I was going to try to actually do watercolor on the page, but I did try it out on a different blank page, and even with very little water, I was getting a little bit of page warping. So I decided against that, and instead we're celebrating World Watercolor Month with, like I said, the Girl Boss Anna ink tapes. I also ended up later on in the spread deciding to pull out some of my Anna Bean on a Mission stickers, flowers and butterflies. So I just wanted to mention that, and the days of the week are from rose colored days. I am reading to you today from nationaltoday.com about World Watercolor Month, which is July. World Watercolor Month is celebrated around the globe during July. Art has been a medium of expressing our most intimate thoughts and emotions. Mediums like paintings, crafting, sculpting have been around for centuries to give voice to human emotions. Watercolor painting is one of the most ancient forms of art, and its popularity will not wane for a long time to come. The month is celebrated by amateurs, artists, and educators to support the art form and raise awareness and funds for art education. It is also a big social media event. History of World Watercolor Month. Charlie O'Shields, the creator of Doodle Wash and host of the Sketching Stuff podcast, founded World Watercolor Month in 2016. He created a blog and social artist movement dedicated to promoting and bringing together the vast community of watercolor artists around the world. He started with a few art challenges, only to realize that even though the medium was widely loved, there weren't any specific observances dedicated to it. An application to request the same was submitted, and registrars agreed with the cause. And that's how World Watercolor Month came to be. Watercolor painting has a history going back many centuries, with the earliest examples being paintings found on prehistoric cave walls. It is interesting to note how ancient creative expression is and its important role in human society. Since time immemorial, art has been responsible for bringing us together, inspiring us, and giving us hope during our toughest times. Needless to say, art has also played an important part in education. As a subject, art acts as an equalizer that promotes universality to areas and topics that are often impacted by socioeconomic barriers. Yet art education and art classes also bear the heaviest brunts during budget cuts of educational institutions. Doodle Wash and World Watercolor Month hopes to raise funds and awareness for art education and classes, needy artists, and bring the magic of art to those who might not be able to pursue it otherwise. Next on nationaltoday.com, we have World Watercolor Month frequently asked questions. There are 3. What is Doodle Wash? Doodle Wash is a watercolor painting and sketching blog, community, and shopping portal. Who invented watercolor? Small hard cakes of soluble watercolor were invented by William Reeves in 1780. Which famous artists used watercolor? John James Audubon, Georgia O'Keeffe, Elizabeth Murray are some of the famous artists who used watercolor. Now we have World Watercolor Month activities. Number 1, participate in the daily challenge. Doodle Wash assigns a theme to paint for every day of World Watercolor Month. You can attempt the challenge and share your screen with your online friends. Number 2, get started on a month-long project. If you don't want to participate in the daily challenge, you can work on a single project throughout the month. Unveil your masterpiece on the last day of the month. And number 3, donate art supplies. You can also celebrate World Watercolor Month by donating art supplies to schools and education centers that are low on funds. This can also be a great CSR project. If you are interested in learning watercolor, or if you already know how to do it but want some inspiration, I follow the Art Sherpa on YouTube, and she has acrylic and watercolor tutorials and like paint with me things. They're really awesome. I love her. She seems like such a fantastic human being, and her husband helps her with the channel, and they just seem like a really nice couple. And also, she's extremely talented. So yeah, I recommend checking her out. I'll also Artist Palette Durham, I think is what it's called. They are on YouTube and Facebook, and they have watercolor and acrylic like paint nights, paint with me nights as well. So they do live paint nights on YouTube. So that's a lot of fun. The next thing that we're going to talk about today is from nationaltoday.com, 5 facts about famous artists that will blow your mind. Before I get to that, I just wanted to mention that I did speed this part up a lot because I was cutting tiny blades of grass or whatever you call those. And it was just like tedious and took forever. So that's why I sped that up so much more. All right, 5 facts about famous artists that will blow your mind. Oh, see, now I want to stop again. If you couldn't tell, that's a little river down there at the bottom. And the ink tapes from the Smile collection, and then the green from, well, aside from the green from Better Days. The Smile collection is supposed to be like a sunset or a sunrise colors. That's why I did them in that order. And then the river at the bottom. So that's my little nature scene. Oh, and the clouds were the ones from Charcoal Latte at the top, with the days of the week from Rose Colored Days on top. Yeah, thought it would be like a cute little nature scene. All right, now for real. 5 facts about famous artists that will blow your mind. Number 1, paintbrushes are replaced by cigarettes. What? Jackson Pollock often used cigarettes to paint. That's interesting. I wonder if he smoked them also. That's probably how it happened. He was a smoker, and then he couldn't find his paintbrush, and he grabbed a cigarette. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Okay, number 2. Braque created history at the Louvre. George Braque was the first living person to be displayed at the Louvre. The first living person to be displayed. Interesting. Ballet fascinated Degas. Edgar Degas has about 1,500 paintings featuring dancers. I actually got to see the Degas exhibit at the Detroit Institute of Arts. It was so cool, fascinating, and inspiring. It was very, very, very interesting. Number 4, Warhol made time capsules. Warhol would seal eccentric items in a box at the end of every month. That is so interesting. But that's kind of like what we do with our planners. We make art every month. It's like a little time capsule that tracks our life. Aw, cool. Rubens was knighted twice. Paul Rubens was knighted by Philip IV, King of Spain, and Charles I, King of England. I know this has nothing to do with watercolor, but artists in general. How many of you have gone to see the Vincent van Gogh exhibit? Or do they call it an experience? Either way, my daughter and my mom and my daughter's friend, my niece, my sister-in-law, a lot of people in my family went. Oh, I wish I could have gone. It would have been so amazing. But they sent me pictures, and it was really a very cool experience. I'm glad that my daughter got to go do that. So if the Van Gogh experience is in your area, I highly recommend going to see it. It's coming to El Paso, I believe in December. So we have a while to wait, and I'm not sure that I'll ever be able to actually physically go, but highly recommend. All right, the last thing on nationaltoday.com is why we love World Watercolor Month. Number 1, it celebrates a popular art form. Watercolor painting is one of the ancient and most popular art forms. World Watercolor Month celebrates this beloved medium. And number 2, it raises awareness. World Watercolor Month also raises awareness about the importance of art education and how we can support schools and students who want to learn the art form. You can also donate to schools to make a difference. And finally, it encourages creativity. Watercolor Month challenges encourage us to put on our thinking caps and get creative. It can also help us inculcate a new hobby or rekindle your love for it. And that's everything about World Watercolor Month from nationaltoday.com. I am now on my spread just trying to get some of those Anna Bean flowers onto the other side of the page so that it's more balanced and doesn't look like two completely different spreads. And then a little blue butterfly there at the top to pull the blue up to the top of the page so that it's, again, more balanced. Let me know what you think down below of World Watercolor Month, how you intend, or if you intend to celebrate. I was hoping to be in my van already by now, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to celebrate until I get there. I'm kind of living in limbo a little bit right now. All done. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe. I will see you next time. As always, stay inspired. Bye.